it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know already and you didn't watch the video that went up on Saturday, I have a really exciting homeschooling series coming up this week. Every day this week, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a different how I teach video because our homeschool year is coming to a close. The end of April is the last of our homeschool year for this year. Thank goodness. Not that it's been a bad year, but I just need a break. So before our year closed out, I really wanted to take the time to share with you guys how I teach certain subjects. I get that question a lot. So this week, I'm going to be doing an entire how I teach series. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I teach math, and then we're going to have how I teach spelling, science, handwriting, and how we teach language arts in high school. So I don't know if they're going to be in that order or not, but today is the one about how I teach math. But every day this week, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, a different video on how I teach a different subject. We have made a few changes, and then some things have stayed the same, so I really wanted to share these videos with you guys. I've worked really hard on this series. I talked about that in the little sneak peek video. I was like, I worked really hard to get every one of these videos up each day of this week, so I really hope you enjoy the series. Make sure you're subscribed because I do homeschooling videos a lot. And I also have a homeschooling playlist where every single homeschooling video I've ever made is in that playlist. So tons of curriculum reviews and homeschool room organization and tour videos, all that stuff lives in that playlist. If you want to see the first video in my How I Teach series, which is how I teach math, then stay tuned. Okay, if you guys have followed me for a while, you've probably heard this story, but for those of you who haven't, I'm going to go back and explain a little bit about why math is such a huge deal in our homeschool. Math is the subject that almost kept us from being able to homeschool. Like when my oldest daughter was in the middle of 4th grade, we had had enough of the public school system and for various reasons. And when we first started talking about homeschooling, I was like, what about math? Like math was like that. You're going on this homeschool idea. You're like, yeah, this is great. We can do this. And all of a sudden you come to a screeching halt when you think about math. Numbers and making them make sense and explaining them to somebody else how to use them and how to do all this stuff. Like, no, I am so bad at math. I can do money stuff. I can do that kind of stuff. But oh my goodness, explaining math to somebody is just straight over my head. And I can't even do some of the math. Like the math my oldest daughter is doing now. There's no way I could do that and then explain to her how to do it. I couldn't do it even without explaining how to do it. Like I just can't. Math is my kryptonite, and I knew that was going to be a source of like the main issue we were going to have with homeschooling. So I found a curriculum that is done all online. At the time it was all on disc, but now you can choose discs or all online. The lessons are taught to the kids. They do the problems online. It grades it for them, and then I don't have to do anything, and it's teaching textbooks. Teaching textbooks was the first homeschool curriculum that we purchased for my oldest daughter, and it's what we use now for both girls every single year. It's not even a question. Like I don't even have to think about what are we doing for math next year? Do we need to change to something else? No. Teaching textbooks has been the only math program that my oldest daughter has used, and then with my youngest, when she got to be school age, we basically did whatever we could do with math until she was old enough to start teaching textbooks, which thankfully was around the middle of 2nd grade because teaching textbooks, first level of math is Math 3. We took the placement test online, which you could definitely do to see where your child would need to go, what level. When we took the placement test online, she tested into Math 3 in the middle of 2nd grade, and I was like, yes, we could finally get her into teaching textbooks so that both girls are using it, and I know they're going to get a solid math education that does not involve me doing a single thing. And I mentioned the placement tests, which of course are really important to help you decide which level that your child should go in with teaching textbooks, but even better than that, Teaching Textbooks offers a free trial of any or all of their math levels. However many that you need to try to figure out how it's working for you and which level your child needs, you can do any of those levels for 15 lessons for free. You can do any of their levels on a free trial program through lesson 15 absolutely free. And the great thing is if you decide after those 15 lessons that you love teaching textbooks, your kids love teaching textbooks, and you're ready to go ahead and purchase it, you don't have to like start over once you purchase it. They're able to transfer those first 15 lessons and those 15 grades to your purchase, so they don't have to start back over in lesson 1. They get to they get to go right into lesson 16 and pick up where they left off, which is great. Also, there's no time limit for completing the trial, so it never expires. You sign up for the trial and you only get through 3 lessons in like a week, and then you take a week off for vacation and you come back and you want to do the other ones. It's fine. Your free trial never expires. It's not by days, it's by lesson. So it really gives you a great way to try out teaching textbooks without having to pay any money, without having to worry about being rushed into hurrying in like 10-day free trial or anything like that. No, you've got no non-expiring free trial just for those 15 lessons. And it's really going to give you a great idea to see, which level is best for your child and how teaching textbooks works and how it's going to fit into your homeschool. So I highly, highly recommend, if you're on the fence or you're looking for a math curriculum and you've never even heard of teaching textbooks, definitely sign up for their free trial. I think you'll love it and be as impressed with it as we are. So for our 2018-2019 school year, I had a 9th grader and a 3rd grader. My 9th grader is doing Algebra 1. My 3rd grader is doing Math 4. So she won't quite finish it before the end of the school year, but that's okay. We can do some of it over the summer. We can actually pause it, which is really nice. If you want to pause your subscription, you can definitely do that. You're allowed up to 90 days of pause time. So since she's not going to be finishing it, if I didn't want to have her do any of the lessons over the summer, which I probably will do, I'll just be honest. But if I didn't want to do that and we wanted to take a break of a week or 2 weeks or 90 days, you can pause your teaching textbook subscription for 90 days and then come back and pick up where you left off. So that's a great option for you as well. And also for your reference, Teaching Textbooks offers Math 3 all the way through pre-calculus. So it's going to take you through your child's entire education at home before they get to college. It's definitely going to take care of all of those levels for you so that you don't have to worry about filling in, extra levels in high school or anything like that. All the way through pre-calculus is taken care of. I love how each of my daughters, even though they're both using teaching textbooks, they both use it differently that suits them the best. So my oldest daughter will watch the lecture and answer the problems on the computer along with the lecture, and then she'll also write them in the workbook at the same time. If she's missing a lot already, she'll tell me, just erase this lesson, I want to start over, which is really nice because I can get into the teaching textbooks parent dashboard. I can erase as many lessons as we need to so that she can start over, rewatch everything, redo the problems and everything online. So that's really what works best for her. For my youngest, when she was a little bit younger, I would have her do the lesson and the problems online and then have her do the problems separately in the workbook for extra practice. Now that she's a little bit older and things are doing a little bit better for her with math, now she watches the lecture and answers the questions on the computer. I go in at night and I see which ones she missed, and I will have her do those, only the ones she missed, the next day in her workbook so that she's just getting the extra help with those certain problems and not having to do everything. So it wouldn't hurt her to do everything over again. But I feel like if she's not missing them, then there's no sense in just beating a dead horse. So we go ahead and just have her redo the ones that she missed the previous day in her workbook. I go over those with her, and then I assign the next lesson on the computer. So the same thing, she'll do the next lesson on the computer, and then I check that night any ones that she missed that day. We correct the next day and then start the next lesson. So that has really worked out the best for us so far. And if there ever comes a point where she's missing a lot more, or it's a really hard subject for her, then maybe a really hard topic for her, maybe we'll go back to doing every problem in the workbook. But for now, this has been what's working out. With Teaching Textbooks 3.0, it is all online, but you can print the student workbook if you want. It's in your parent dashboard, or you can order it as a separate purchase if you don't want to have to print it or you don't have a printer. You can order that as a separate purchase if you want your child to have the actual workbook to do the problems on paper. You can order it from Teaching Textbooks. I love how Teaching Textbooks doesn't just teach you something and then move on and never talk about it again. You get lots of review mixed in with whatever new topics that they're adding. So that's a great way to make sure they're not forgetting what they've already learned and then building upon that. If it's something that my youngest daughter is really struggling with as far as maybe time, is something that we're working on right now, then I will fill in with, a time workbook or something, maybe like a worksheet or something with multiplication, just to really help kind of drive in those facts and focus on maybe something she's struggling with. But for the most part, that doesn't happen a whole lot. We did actually get a time workbook to work on over the summer just to kind of give her more practice for that, since that is something she's still having a little bit of an issue with. So definitely can fill in here and there if I need to, but for the most part, it doesn't have to be filled in. Everything that she's needing is in her curriculum, and she's getting that review and she's getting those new topics, and it's just been a really great blend of review and new things. So as far as how math goes in our house, math is pretty smooth sailing in our house, which I never thought I would ever say, especially thinking back to how I felt about math when I first thought about homeschooling and first thought about how do I teach math to my kids when I can't do it. Math is really easy. It's the one subject that I'm kind of I've got this taken care of. I know what's going on. I know they're getting a good math education, and I know that even though I can't give that to them, I am giving them what they need, in this case teaching textbooks, to get that quality math education. I also really love the convenience of teaching textbooks 3.0. When we first started using teaching textbooks, it was all the discs and the workbook, and we loved it even then. But when they came out with a 3.0 online, I was like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm kind of old school and I like discs. But really, and that is still an option, by the way, if you don't want the online subscription, you can still purchase the teaching textbooks discs and the workbook. That's definitely still an option for you. It is quite a bit more expensive than getting the teaching textbooks 3.0 online subscription, but it is an option for you. But anyway, they came out with 3.0, and I was thinking, oh, I don't know if I'm going to for sure feel like I like that. But I love it. I love the convenience of being able to do their math anywhere. I love the fact that I don't have to worry about the fact that our laptop now does not have a disk drive, and I don't have to get like an external disk reader and plug it up and all that stuff, because a lot of laptops don't nowadays. They don't have disk drives, so you have to either have a computer that has a disk drive, or you have to hook up an external disk reader, which is crazy. So I love that with teaching textbooks 3.0, I don't have to have a disk drive. I love how they can start a lesson maybe on the desktop computer, and then maybe I come down there and I say, I need my desk back. Can you go finish your math on the laptop? And they're like, sure. They take the laptop, they can pick up with teaching textbooks right where they left off, because 3.0 online is online, so they can just kind of pick up where they left off. There's no discs to shuffle and all that stuff. So it is really convenient. You can even do it from your phone and your tablet now. So they have made it so easy and versatile and affordable with teaching textbooks 3.0. And speaking of that, if you have a large family between 4 and 8 children and you think, man, how much is this going to cost with that many children to use teaching textbooks? Teaching textbooks offers a large family plan for 4 to 8 students, and it's only $199.08 per year, which works out to be $16.59 per month. That is a great value, way less expensive than it would be if you had to go and purchase all of the discs and everything for that many children. It's definitely a great way to save money if you have between 4 and 8 students. So if you guys have been with me for a while, you know how much we love teaching textbooks around here. They have made homeschooling math really easy and very affordable, and I am so, so thankful to teaching textbooks for that. So if you guys have never tried it and you want to try it, definitely utilize that free trial. Because I know that it's going to be such a great blessing for you guys, just like it has been for us. I will have it linked for you guys in the description box. Also, just let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know, what is the subject that you were the most scared to teach? Like for me, it was math. Maybe for you it's science or history or whatever it is. So let me know in the comments kind of what your most afraid of subject to teach is. I'm curious to know. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Hit that little notification bell so you'll be notified every single time I upload a new video. Check out the homeschooling playlist and stay tuned for tomorrow's How I Teach video. I'll be sharing another video about how I teach a different subject in our homeschool, so you don't want to miss that. So make sure you're subscribed and you have that bell clicked. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.